welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a different shades of green acrylic set. I have done something very similar to this. A few weeks ago, I did a red one. Now I'm doing a green one. So today's shout outs go to Natasha Ivelisse, Joy Aid, and Softy Vlogs. Thank you guys so much for being the first 3 people to comment on my last video. I didn't get a chance to shout you guys out, but I had the picture and I wanted to shout you guys out. Don't forget that in every single one of my videos, I have a question of the day that I mentioned throughout the video. I ask you guys to comment something, and then the first 3 people to comment will get shouted out in the video after. So the nail tips that I'm using for this set are my extra long nail tips, which are available on my website. I currently have them available in clear and in natural, and these are the clear ones. My discount codes will be shown throughout the video on the screen, so I don't have to mention them every single time. But they're also down in the description box if you guys want to know them. So what I do is I cut them to my desired length, and I want them to be pretty long. I'm using my stork scissors, which you can get off of Amazon, and then I am using my Valentino Beauty Pure e-file and just a medium sanding band. I like to go over the entire nail tip. I do this just because I have mentioned this throughout previous videos. I like to do this because I feel like the acrylic adheres better to the tip versus if I leave it shiny, I sometimes feel like it can slip. I am using 4 different types of acrylic. As you know, all companies are different, they all work differently, and one of them might slip off if I leave it shiny. So I like to do this very gently, like it doesn't have to be crazy. You don't want to file down anything off the nail. Basically, if you were just doing it to your natural nail with the fine sanding band. So I'm using this Zoev color in the color Military. It is a gorgeous color, and I do have a discount code. Not Polishes M118 High Life, and it is a gorgeous green. This is not in the order I'm going to use them. I'm actually going to show you guys how I pick out the order that I will be using, because I just am showing you the color and then I'll figure it out. And then I'm also using Kiwi from Nail House. And it's a very, very pretty bright green. And the other bright green is Model One's acrylic powder number 7. And I have a few acrylic application videos that I posted on my Instagram the other day, so if you guys want to go check that out. So this is how I decide the order. What I'm doing is I'm grabbing my acrylic brush and my monomer, and I'm simply swatching them on a napkin, on the napkin that I usually use. And I'm swatching them not in any particular order, just kind of the order that I think it will be, and then I can fix it. I want it to go from like lightest or from darkest to brightest, and I kind of did that with the red as well that I did a few weeks ago. So I finally chose the order that I want to do it, and in the pinky I'm going to be using this Zoev Military. It is like a very, very military green color, and the way I'm going to be explaining the textures or the way that each acrylic powder works, because like I said, all companies are different. Some of them you have to use like a more wet brush, and some of them are more like drier. So the way Zoev works is when you pick up a bead, it picks up a really, really nice bead. You place it on the nail and it dries. So what you have to do is very simple. All you have to do is dip your acrylic brush like a few times into the monomer and work around that. So I love the fact that it's like it doesn't move unless you move it, and I just really, really love the consistency of it. It has a really nice consistency, but it definitely is one that you have to work with, because some people might think like, oh my god, it's dry, and then you can't work with it. But when you place it on the nail, it will be dry, But all you have to do is dip your acrylic brush into the into the monomer, and honestly, you guys, it is such a good consistency. It's really easy to work with once you get the hang of it. And then they also have like different monomers on their website, which is for like beginners and then more advanced. So definitely check them out and use my discount code for more money off of your order. Did you see that, guys? That was one bead. So that was one bead that I did, and I really am taking my time with acrylic. I feel like before, when I used to make videos, I used to just do them in a rush, or I wouldn't take too much time with my acrylic. So sometimes that is what makes you put more beads on your nail, because you're not really taking the time to let it like dry a little bit and then like playing around with it on the nail and really working with it. So now I'm applying the second bead, which goes directly on top of the first placement of the bead. And like I said, I just have to continuously dip the brush into the monomer and work with the acrylic, because that is the way that Zoev acrylics are. Next up is Not Polish's High Life, and I am, completely obsessed with their acrylics. I always rave about them, and it's definitely on like my top 3 or top 5 acrylic brands. So I really love the consistency, because it's amazing for beginners and for advanced. As soon as I started working with this company, I had already owned a lot of their acrylics, and I really loved the way that they worked. I also liked that their actual acrylics are 2-ounce containers, and they also have mini versions of some of like the more popular ones, which come in smaller containers if that is what you want. But with this, I feel like you just have to grab a medium to wet bead. You don't have to worry about it like drying, or you don't have to worry about it running. It will stay in place. So it's very, very buttery. Like when you hear the term like this acrylic powder is buttery, like not polished acrylics are buttery. And like I said, I really, really love using them. I don't think I had used this particular color before, just because I hadn't had a set. I don't even think I really have made like an acrylic application video with it, but I really like it. It's green and it has like these little bits of dark green in it. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's a really beautiful color and I really like it. Another one of my favorite brands, and I love all the brands that I'm using today. I am like not trying to bash them in any kind of way. I'm really just telling you guys how the texture of their acrylics are, because everyone's is different. I'm going to repeat myself throughout the video saying that a few more times, because when I started doing nails, like I never wanted to stick to one company. I've never been the one to say like I'm gonna start using this company and that's the one I'm gonna stick to. I've always wanted to explore different brands, and that's why I'm so appreciative of all the companies that have given me opportunities to be a brand ambassador, because they've given me the chance to, you know, be creative and explore different brands, and they're supportive, and I really, really appreciate that, because like I said, I just couldn't just do one brand and be stuck with that. All the brands that I represent as a brand ambassador, I, you know, am obsessed with and I use on it like all the time. I wouldn't say on a daily basis because I have so many brands, but I do use them so often, and I am in love with all the actual consistency and the way they work. Like I use it on myself, I use it on my practice hands, and I show them to you guys because I love them. So this is Nail House's Kiwi, and the colors are just stunning. They have such a variety of colors, and I have raved about them since I started. They have such pretty glitter acrylics. I think the first time I purchased off of Nail House was like probably over like a year and a half ago, I want to say, but it's been a long time, and I purchased their fall collection and I still have it to this day and still used it for this fall, which is so fun. Like it's crazy to me because you know, I've been supporting this brand since day one. It's so good and I really, really love it. This is another one where when you pick up the bead, well, this particular acrylic, Their glitter acrylics are more like where you grab like a medium to wet bead and it goes on. But this particular one is when you pick up the bead, you place it on the nail and it doesn't move. And I love that about it, because up until you reach into the monomer and get a wet bead or a medium to wet bead, you can actually start playing around with it. And I love that about acrylics when they do that, where they don't just run off on the side completely. So now we're going on to Model 1's acrylic powder number 7, and I love the fact that I can grab a really big bead, because it's really satisfying to me, and it wasn't running off the sides. It wasn't making me like work super duper fast. Like, I was able to work at my own pace on my own time, and that's what I love about acrylics. I'm using the same monomer for all of them, and the one I am actually using the Kiara Sky monomer, so it's definitely universal and you're able to use it with basically any acrylic. I'm guessing if I can use it with 4 different ones at one time. So that's what I love about like universal monomers. I've gotten a lot of DMs asking like which monomers I recommend, and like I have always recommended Young Nails monomer because I use that one and completely fell in love with it. I worked for every single like company that I use an acrylic for, and definitely the Kiara Sky. I started using it about a month ago and I am in love with it. It works so well with all the other acrylics. I have no problem with it, and it doesn't smell really strong as other monomers. And I do have a discount code with them, Myra10, so you can get the monomer and anything off of their website and get money off of your order. So for this green, I think I only did like 3, maybe 4 beads. I really liked the way it was looking and like the thickness of it. I am not going to encapsulate any of the acrylics, and I was actually going to leave it like this, but at the end I decided to add some Swarovski crystals just for it to be like, very minimal but very cute. The last set that I did that I was talking about in the beginning of the video, which was all red, I did post on my TikTok and on my Instagram, and those were plain red. It was for one of the challenge days for like Christmas. I think it was like day 1 or 2. It was one of like the first days, and I really loved how they came out. I loved how like simple they were. I didn't add anything to them, so that's probably what I really liked about it. But these I decided to do just a little different, and I added the Swarovski crystals to like the cuticle area, which is like my go-to when I use Swarovskis. I don't know why, but I love putting them around the cuticle area because it kind of makes the nails like pop, but without it being too much, because all you have to add are like 4 or 5 crystals to the cuticle area. So now that all that is applied, all the crystals are applied, I filed them. I am applying the Kiara Sky non-wipe gel top coat, It is so pretty, and I love the way it applies. I love the applicator. It's very easy to get into the cuticle area. And that is all, you guys. So now I'm going to cure it in the lamp for 60 seconds and I am completely done. So I hope you guys liked today's video. Don't forget to comment down below, like, subscribe, turn on your post notifications to get notified every time I post a new video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.